But nonetheless, we head now to Monza. But first, we start with the powertrain department events. A recent breakthrough from the powertrain department has resulted in the team finishing ahead of schedule. We could get the team to do some extra R&D or use the time to schedule some promotional content. We either get team acclaim or resource points. We are going for resource points. We need dim upgrades. Reaction training, that one's pretty easy. We started some R&D last time that is still going. 3 days. Our roll dampers for the chassis finished. We also have the energy cell thing still going. We could... A major tire wear upgrade exists for us. We could also do the ECU. We are well out ahead in terms of engine power, so I kind of don't want to. And we could do another aero. Let's continue on with drag reduction or DRS. Let's do drag reduction. Let's do drag reduction. We don't want to be draggy any more than we have to be. We still could do a major tire wear. Honestly, let's just send it, bro. Let's send it. We got the R&D. We're probably nearing the point where we need to start saving up R&D points to save upgrades.
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for the weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.
Right after we just spent an ungodly number of resource points. 4. I mean, we need it. We need it. We're gonna have an upgrade package soon. That one hurts. That one hurts a lot, actually. That one hurts a lot. But let's do it. This is it. Fresh set of sauce. It's not gonna get any better than this. As we about to bang off the limiter. We have found our top speed. I turned in way too early. God, I'm self-sabotaging. I'm self-sabotaging. All right, everyone's coming out, so I think this is gonna be it. This is gonna be our lap. Come on! No improvement. Oh man,
Okay, you've dropped to P10. Let's go again. We can do better.
Is there ever gonna be a universe where I manage to pick my way through this crowd? No. No, there is not. All right, we're starting P10. I don't know what's going on with me in this session, but the performance just ain't there. Do I full send and see if I can squeeze in another lap on this like limited fuel I have? I think I'm going to. In theory, we'll have a lap or a little less than. Can we limp it over the line? I don't know. We're about to find out. We have to give it a go. We have to try. We're improving. The real question is, are we going to have the fuel to finish? No. Oh, oh no. Oh wait, I threw. Oh my God. No, dude. Oh, we hit low fuel mode anyway. It didn't matter. P10. Wow, I'm off my game right now. I am off my game tonight. And I hate it. It's so frustrating. But we gotta focus up. We gotta focus up and get ready for this race, because
We're all ready.
it's gonna be what it is. What it is at this point. All we can do is do what we can. Okay, I have some explaining to do, because from this point on in the video, I lost the audio for it from my mic. And so for the first time in this series in F123, I'm going to be attempting post-production voiceover. So be nice, be kind, and from here on, you're not gonna hear me live. You'll see my mouth moving, but the words won't match. But we're gonna make do.
Welcome to the home of the Parabolica, now known as the Curva Alboreto, in tribute to the Italian motorsport legend Michele Alboreto. It's a long right-hander. It dares you to keep your foot as far down on the throttle as you possibly can. It's one of the great corners on the calendar, and we're here at Monza, ahead of the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds up to 215 and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, the rookie, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Magnussen, Teo Pourchaire, Tsunoda, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Joe, Stroll, De Vries, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down. Also, now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and in...
What's going on, guys? Post-production voiceover Dakota here. We had a bit of issues with the audio, as I mentioned before we get this race started. You can see that we're going to be doing the one stop today, medium to hards. This is going to be a new experience for everybody. It's been a very long time since I've tried to do a post recording voiceover for one of these. So we're gonna be in this together, and we're gonna see how this goes. But you can see we're on the formation lap here at Monza. We're gonna have to get a good start in this one if we're gonna have any kind of chance. We know that our car has the power aspect of this down, but it's all gonna come down to whether or not our tires are gonna survive, and if we have the metal to hold on and put in a good performance. As you can see, we're coming out to the grid now, getting our tires nice and prepped for this launch. If we get a good start here, we could be on for a very decent result. You see a good mix of tire strategies as well. Oscar Piastri behind on softs, us on the mediums, and then Fernando Alonso up there actually on the hards as well. But here we are waiting on the grid to be set. I'm excited. I always love racing at Monza. And so we're going to do our best to get a good launch here as it goes to 5 red lights. They are out and we are away, and you can see the absolute difference between starting on the hards and starting on the mediums as we get an unbelievable start here. Trying to dive up the inside, already caught up to the top 4. We kind of slowly back out of it. Turn 1 of Monza and all that. We get a bit of a wheel banging moment with George Russell, but we make it through turns 1 and 2, all the way up into P4 now. The yellow flag quickly being cleared up as we now follow Charles Leclerc coming out of that first chicane, and we managed to survive. Not only survive, but thrive as well. We're going to do our best here to keep it pointed the right way and try and hold on to this front group as long as possible. We know that our car isn't the best when it comes to straight line speed and following others, and you can see there that front group is already starting to pull out a bit of a gap here, and you can tell as we end the first lap here. I run a little bit wide into Parabolica, and you can see that George Russell has a moment. He sneaks himself up the inside, and this is something we're going to have to battle all day. Is me really, and you can see Max Verstappen actually getting here in here on the battle as well. George blocks him off. We move back to the racing line, and we're gonna go down the outside on the racing line, run a little deep on purpose to leave a little bit of space, but we leave no intention of being switched back, and we move back up into P4, successfully re-overtaking those two. And we continue on moving forward here into lap 7. Once again, I don't know why I struggled so much with the final corner here. You can see Max Verstappen making his way up and past us. He is going to have DRS as well, and so we're going to do our best to hold on for as long as possible. There's our reoccurring friend George Russell already, but you know, at this point, still holding on to P5, and if this little secondary train, I'm not going to complain about one single bit. But unfortunately, I run wide here, dip a tire or two on the grass, and I think that's pretty much all she wrote when it comes to dealing and hanging with George Russell and Max Verstappen. I mean, it was going to be very, very hard for us to really hold on. We're going to do our best to get back up on their tails. Thankfully, I think they give a little bit of help to us by battling a little bit. Obviously, Max is on the hards, George on the mediums, trying to use that tire to our advantage over Max since he is in front to try and hold on. You can see there our delta just ticks over one second, and unfortunately it came at the worst possible time, and so no DRS for us. You can see we're dumping ERS, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. And here at the end of lap 10, we decide we're going to come in a little early. We're going to come in and try and do a bit of an undercut if we can, jump onto the hard tires, get those things warmed up, and hopefully some fresh tires will reinvigorate us here. As you can see, a handful of other people also making their pit stop. But we get a purple optimal turn in, and we're going to be going on to the hard tires. Thankfully, we don't get held up at all, and we're about to come out. We're going to see and hope that we can come out and save as many places as possible. You can see Lando Norris just coming by us there. Fernando Alonso also coming up with full momentum, but we actually managed to get into turn 1 ahead of Fernando, and we're able to hold on to P8 in this one. A very, very good result for us at this point, and we try and hold on to some points after a tough last couple of rounds. Really, it's been a very up and down season for us as we head down the back half of this one, and so we are going to continue moving on as Fernando Alonso sneaks by us on those medium tires with DRS as well. I wasn't sure if Fernando had already made his pit stop since he was on mediums. I had forgotten at this point that he started on the hard, so he had already made his pit stop. So I was hoping that he would also be pitting soon to get off the mediums onto the hards like I had, not realizing that he had already made his pit stop. So holding on to Fernando here was going to be a difficult task, as those fresh mediums are going to be pretty much exactly what he needs to pull it out on us. Thankfully, Monza has this one very, very long pit straight. As you can see, we actually managed to successfully undercut George Russell there, and now we move ahead of the Englishman and still trying to follow Fernando Alonso to the best of our ability. With only a handful of laps left, we'll have to see what we can do here to try and hold on to as many positions as possible. Fernando going slightly defensive there. You can see Lando Norris not even that far ahead as well. And you can see here, not but a couple laps later, George Russell had actually made his way past both of us with DRS. I think I distracted Fernando just long enough to let George sneak through. But we're actually making a beautiful little left to right move here, going past Fernando and then cutting and dumping George Russell out of his boots to get back up past the both of them. That might have been the best move we've made all season at this point, as we're trying to secure our best position here after a rough outing previously. So not but a handful of laps left here. You can see Fernando Alonso and George Russell still right there. As you can see, Fernando battling, trying to go down the inside of the Scar chicane. Not necessarily the best overtaking spot. As you can see there, Fernando has to back out immediately, but oh no, I had turned strict corner cutting on to my own detriment recently, and so there it is. That's basically a death sentence at this point in terms of holding on to P5 with a 3-second penalty in this one. Alonso and Russell almost guaranteed. It's all going to come to whether or not we can hold on to that 3-second gap to the next set of drivers. Pierre Gasly, Oscar Piastri, teetering on 2.7-ish seconds behind. It's going to come down to whether or not we can hold on and push this lead out even further, but it's going to be tough to do so, having to follow George and Fernando. And so this one is teetering on going from bad to worse by one little mistake, going just over the white line on the exit of that final chicane. We're going to see if we can make something happen, but unfortunately it may just be too little too late in this one, and we are moved firmly into damage control. And you can see there, I've never really got that that second chicane in the lap figured out, and it was terrible. And now we move up to lap 16, and you can see Oscar Piastri behind us, only a second and a half behind. We're really struggling on our tires to maintain some sense of momentum there, but you can see a yellow flag comes out, and Oscar Piastri immediately jumps to 3.5 seconds behind us, and that delta is climbing. I don't know what there was going on behind, whether it was contact or what, but now it's actually a fantastic news on our side as we managed to push that gap back ahead over 3 seconds. And you can see here we're going to speed up exactly what happens. All we have to do at this point is not lose too much touch, but unfortunately we are going to lose touch a little bit to the group ahead, as we always have, and 4.7 seconds now separate us to Pierre Gasly behind now, as Pastry has moved behind the Frenchman in the Alpine. And at this point I'm feeling very good. We moved into cruise mode, staying within DRS of George and Fernando. They should be able to drag us along nicely. You can see the gap there now, well over 5 seconds, with only 2 laps remaining here at Monza. And so we're going to make our way through turns 1 and 2, heading back towards the death chicane. There it is, really is for us. We just can't seem to get it hooked up there very well. I really felt like I had an opportunity here to get past Fernando. You can see the run we got on him here, and we're going to try and make something happen here. So we take a little bit of a look out to the left, get it slowed down, get a nice angle there, but something just upsets the car. We slide it. Oh no! We crashed coming out of the chicane, and you can tell that I was livid. I was livid. I was so upset with myself. We had every opportunity there. I saw the move, and I just got a little too overzealous on the throttle. And in Formula One, sometimes that's all it takes. Just one little too much, and that does that. And we are out of the Italian Grand Prix with solid points on the board. One little mistake in the wall, and all of a sudden, that's your day absolutely done. What a shame that was. I was absolutely frustrated, more than I could have been. Charles Leclerc wins the Italian Grand Prix. The Tifosi go crazy. But all we're thinking about is what we left on the table. We are definitely steaming a little bit. If you can see there, I was absolutely losing it as we move forward here. Oh man, I'm still pretty upset about this, if we're being entirely honest. I was so upset with myself. You can see it there. I'm absolutely dejected at this result. You can see it, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen ends up moving up onto the podium, Lando Norris P4, George P5, Fernando Alonso P7, and Deo Porcher actually also falls his way down P17. But guys, at the end of the day, that's all it takes, and we have to move on and continue marching forward. That'll do it for me in this one. See you next time.